Wise men, when in doubt whether to speak or to keep quiet, give themselves the benefit of the doubt and remain silent. We are made wise not by the recollection of our past, but by the responsibility for our future. A wise man can learn more from a foolish question than a fool can learn from a wise answer. We think a wise person is someone who solves problems. Truth is, a wise person is someone who avoids problems. The wise are not wise because they make no mistakes. They are wise because they correct their mistakes as soon as they recognize them. Man can climb to the highest summits, but he cannot dwell there long. The teacher who is indeed wise does not bid you to enter the house of his wisdom, but rather leads you to the threshold of your mind. A wise woman wishes to be no one's enemy. A wise woman refuses to be anyone's victim. If you don't like how things are, change it. You're not a tree. We are born. We grow up. We live our lives as best we can. If we are thoughtful, we are good parents and good partners. If we are wise, we strive for integrity and intimacy. If we are fortunate, we discover love and joy. If we are able, we make the world a little better than we found it. Obstacles are those frightful things you see when you take your eyes off your goal. It is better to light a candle than curse the darkness. You won't step on others' toes if you imagine yourself in their shoes. It is during our darkest moments that we must focus to see the light. Don't go around saying the world owes you a living. The world owes you nothing. It was here first. Get mad. Then get over it. A small act is worth a million thoughts. One must always maintain one's connection to the past and yet ceaselessly pull away from it. The miracle is this: the more we share, the more we have. Neither a wise man nor a brave man lies down on the tracks of history to wait for the train of the future to run over him. There would be nothing to frighten you if you refused to be afraid. The wise man then followed a simple way of life, which is hardly surprising when you consider how even in this modern age he seeks to be as little encumbered as he possibly can. To be idle is a short road to death, and to be diligent is a way of life. Foolish people are idle. Wise people are diligent. The wisdom of the wise and the experience of the ages are perpetuated by quotations. If you wait until all the lights are green before you leave home, you'll never get started on your trip to the top. A man goes to the village to visit the wise men, and he says to the wise men, "I feel like there are two dogs inside me. One dog is this positive, loving, kind, and gentle dog, and then I have this angry, mean-spirited, and negative dog, and they fight all the time. I don't know which is going to win. The wise man thinks for a moment and he says, I know which is going to win. The one you feed the most. So feed the positive dog. Today is the best day to accomplish something. Health is the greatest gift. Contentment the greatest wealth. Faithfulness the best relationship. To appreciate nonsense you must first acquire wisdom. Then compromise the two, only then will the fool understand you, and believe himself to be wise. The eyes are the windows of the soul. Be as smart as you can. But remember that it is always better to be wise than to be smart. Don't look where you fall, but where you slipped. An ounce of emotion is equal to a ton of facts. It is easier to be wise for others than for ourselves. A mind that is stretched by a new experience can never go back to its old dimensions. The aim of the wise is not to secure pleasure, but to avoid pain. Expecting perfection from ourselves or others is not what holiness is about. Create each day anew by clothing yourself with heaven and earth, bathing yourself with wisdom and love, and placing yourself in the heart of Mother Nature. Anyone can find fault. It is the wise person who finds that which encourages another in the turmoils and strifes of the day. Like the bee gathering honey from the different flowers, the wise person accepts the essence of the different scriptures and sees only the good in all religions. Great minds think alone. Life is a dream for the wise, a game for the fool, a comedy for the rich, a tragedy for the poor. The art of being wise is the art of knowing what to overlook. A wise man will make more opportunities than he finds. A wise man is superior to any insults which can be put upon him. And the best reply to unseemly behavior is patience and moderation. Be happy. It's one way of being wise. Push yourself to the edge of your limits. That's how they expand. Turn your wounds into wisdom. A fool flatters himself. A wise man flatters the fool. Early to bed and early to rise makes a man healthy, wealthy and wise. It requires wisdom to understand wisdom. The music is nothing if the audience is deaf. Love your enemies, for they tell you your faults. A wise and frugal government, which shall restrain men from injuring one another, which shall leave them otherwise free to regulate their own pursuits of industry and improvement, and shall not take from the mouth of labor the bread it has earned. This is the sum of good government, and this is necessary to close the circle of our felicities. This world is your best teacher. There is a lesson in everything. There is a lesson in each experience. Learn it and become wise. Every failure is a stepping stone to success. Every difficulty or disappointment is a trial of your faith. Every unpleasant incident or temptation is a test of your inner strength. Therefore nil desperandum. March forward, hero. There are essentially two things that will make you wise: the books you read and the people you meet. Care about what other people think and you will always be their prisoner. Your vision will become clear only when you can look into your own heart. Who looks outside? Dreams. Who looks inside? Awakes. The stupid neither forgive nor forget. The naive forgive and forget. The wise forgive but do not forget. It is a wise man who knows where courage ends and stupidity begins. From the errors of others, a wise man corrects his own. Fools take criticism and dish it back. The wise take it and turn it to their advantage. The saddest aspect of life right now is that science gathers knowledge faster than society gathers wisdom. Don't judge each day by the harvest you reap, but by the seeds that you plant. All that we are is the result of what we have thought. The mind is everything. What we think, we become. This wise man observed that wealth is a tool of freedom. But the pursuit of wealth is the way to slavery. You don't know who is important to you until you actually lose them. There is a time for departure even when there's northwest certain place to go. Risk more than others think is safe. Care more than others think is wise. Dream more than others think is practical. Expect more than others think is possible. Look for the answer inside your question. The more sand has escaped from the hourglass of our life, the clearer we should see through it. One is more apt to become wise by doing fool things than by reading wise sayings. Authority, power, and wealth do not change a man, they only reveal him. A fool thinks himself to be wise, but a wise man knows himself to be a fool. It is always wise to look ahead, but difficult to look further than you can see. A smart man makes a mistake, learns from it, and never makes that mistake again. But a wise man finds a smart man and learns from him how to avoid the mistake altogether.